So I think it's Thursday. Sap's finally running again. Actually ran all night long. So we're up, way up top. We still got a lot of snow up here. We're checking vacuum. So we're on our micro leaks. So ideally when you're checking vacuum, I don't know if you can see it, but you see those bubbles? They should absolutely be sitting still and should be no movement. That tells you got a tight vacuum seal throughout the system. And what actually is happening, you can't really see it from the camera because I'm too close, but there's a thin column of sap that's actually moving on the bottom, and these are just air bubbles. And you see that bubble starting to move. So it's telling me that there's a micro leak, and this one is the one I was looking at. And up on that line somewhere, which could be anything. It could be a squirrel chew, could be a dry hole, it could be a loose spout. So what we do is we start walking and we're trying to isolate. So we see sap movement there, we got movement over there, and we also got some movement in this drop line. So it could just be a bad hole, but first thing we're going to do is we're going to tap that spout in. And it wet quite a bit, so we're going to see if it stabilizes and see if that helped that any. If it doesn't, we might drill a new hole. But we're going to go up and I think we got to let it stabilize, because when you hammer on stuff, it makes vibrations and it goes away. It makes the bubbles go away and move and all kinds of things. So that's still leaking. So that's a suspect hole. It looks like it's in good wood. So I'm not sure what's going on with it, but we're going to probably pull it and re-drill a hole. It just could be a kind of a non-functional part of the tree. We're going to put a hole right there. We want to see if that one runs. Yeah, that one's running good. It's got sap coming out of it. So move that spout over. We kink the line so we don't get it. We don't have a vacuum leak, and we can hold our stabilization. So that hole could have split when it got tapped. There's a kind of a multitude of things it could be. Then we're going to cut a plug off of just a sapling here. I don't know if you can see that. So I cut this plug. I'm going to plug the old hole. That just kind of lets that part of the tree heal up. So that stopped quite a bit of it. You see that sap is just sitting still now. So there was something going on with that hole. Whether it might have had a little split in it, I don't know. And that really stopped the whole movement in the bubbles. So what happens is those leaks, they won't leak under 27 inches, but when the vacuum gets up to 27 1/4, they'll leak. And then it drops back to 27, and then it gets up to 27 1/4, and it leaks, and you just get these little bit of movements. But those bubbles are sitting totally still now. So that's what we're doing. You're just sitting there. So this is the tedious part, I guess, and I don't really know how much difference it makes in the vacuum overall, but I think it's a matter of the difference between 27.5 and 28 inches of vacuum. So, I don't know. I know we can see a difference in how fast it runs in, so I guess it's worth it. I've never done a cost analysis of it, but if you're going to go through the effort of having all this technology and efficiencies, I guess you got to go through the physical effort to make sure it's working. So we're down the line a little further, and there's a little bit of movement in that bubble. Sometimes just walking up makes them move because you have sound vibrations. But I can see one trouble right here, right now. Not necessarily on that line, but on this one. This tree never got tapped. So we'll have to tap that one. So that's a leak, because these don't seal very good when they're plugged off. And there might be a little bit of a leak. Yeah, there is on that one, so we'll walk that one. So that's what we're doing. The boiled once, we made 200 gallons. We didn't do a video because it was the first time we boiled, so we'll, next time we boil will probably be tomorrow, and we'll do a video. So that's the update.